Okay, Mr. Jones, you have called for this congressional hearing on the grounds of making a plea to Congress. The Congress recognizes the gentleman from Warner Robins, and you may begin.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, members of Congress, I come to you as but a humble citizen of this great nation, and I can be silent no longer. I have called you all here in hopes that I may stress the severity of the climate of our society and the conscience of our country. We are living in an age of unprecedented social, cultural, economic, political, criminal, and educational changes. The freedoms that we've come to know and love and cherish are beginning to perish before our eyes. Warrantless searches and mass incarceration have become the new norm. Prisons are being ran as for-profit businesses while the inmates in turn become merchandise, and legality becomes nothing more than a suggestion. We have a criminal system that has created a culture of compensatory retribution where money outweighs the law. We have an educational system that rewards mindless repetition and memorization while punishing creativity and stifling innovation, where teachers are in demand but paid a fraction of what they're worth, to the point that they have to accept a second job in a job force that is slowly being lost to automation and not the immigrants that we so regularly vilify on the TV screens every night. Children are being left in cages and separated from their families because of rhetoric so divisive and dehumanizing that it has made these things seem like a normal occurrence. But these are not normal, nor should we attempt to normalize them. We have a rise in white nationalism and cultural hate, where pride becomes supremacy, where preserving hatred is disguised as heritage, and where patriotism becomes exceptionalism. We can ill afford to ignore these issues at hand and just pass them off to the next generation. For if we refuse to act on the climate of our country and the climate of our globe, there will not be next generations. If we continue to promote a military-industrial complex hell-bent on expanding the American empire while pillaging from countries that we deem inferior, will do nothing but only lead to our own demise. If we continue to deploy drones and supply arms, then we will continue to have blood on our hands. If we continue to support dictatorships, then we will continue to be complicit in the war crimes that they commit. And if we continue to burn every bridge and sink every ship as we helplessly drown while the rest of the world watches on, it will be nobody else's fault but our own. So, ladies and gentlemen, members of Congress, I have called you here in hopes that I can plead to your humanity and advise that we evaluate the current course that we are on and try to find more practical and efficient methods to better solve these issues in a more timely manner. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time. I thank you for listening to me. And I yield the remainder of my time to the chair.
Welcome to my talk show. 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 And we're on live.
Yo, what it do though? Welcome back to another episode of Controversial Conversation. Damn, y'all. You know, we made it to 7. I can't believe it. It's been kind of fast, right? But I know it's been a lot of fun, man, just sitting here talking to y'all, having this time to really, just sort out my thoughts and kind of see how y'all feel about certain things. And I wouldn't trade this for the world, man. I've been having a blast every week just trying to come up with concepts, trying to come up with, topics and segments. And I want to thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to just be here. On the second episode, we talked a lot about depression. And I promised y'all that I was going to, keep you updated on things that were happening. And, well, I don't know, I've been kind of in and out lately. Y'all know what I mean? Like, you're not really feeling down or you're not really feeling up. It's like a blah. And you just can't really describe it. You just feel something. And it's just weird. I don't know, man. But I've been pushing through it, trying to get through it, because there's a lot of good things that are actually happening. I got something amazing that I'm dropping tomorrow. And I know I've been saying that for a while now, and man, it's great. It's so dope what I'm about to do tomorrow. It's another step, like I said, in this journey of Open Minded Productions becoming what we always envisioned it to be, and me becoming what I always envisioned myself. And I mean, it's amazing. But aside from that, still trying to find motivation and inspiration for things that already excite me is becoming exhausting. I don't get it. I don't understand where this lack of motivation continues to come from. And I try to fight it. I try to talk to it. I try to get through it. And every time I think, I done got past it, it just comes right back. So what I'm gonna do is seriously get some help. I've told you guys a couple times, I'm gonna go and make sure I go see the person that I've been seeing lately. But nah, I haven't seen her in a while, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I probably need to, because there's some things that I just really need to work out that I just don't feel I can work out by myself anymore. And hopefully, there's some of y'all who might have been sitting in your room having the same kind of thoughts and just wondering, is it the right move to go talk to somebody? And I'm telling you, it is. Take it from me, it is. You're not going to solve this problem by yourself.
I'm not going to solve this problem by myself. So it's time that I got some help. And really on that, I want to say today's show is going to be a little bit different. I don't really feel the need to be, giddy or happy, because the things that are going on right now, not even just what I was talking about a second ago, but just in this world right now, are killing me. And I don't know, man. It's getting harder and harder to just pull through. These days are so dark. I don't get it. I don't. But anyways, I don't want to harp too much on that. So, I don't have Jizzle doing a piece yet again. Yeah, man, it's hard to keep up with him, man. Ever since he got locked up, he's been lost in the system. Y'all know how this justice system works, man. But I hope to catch up with him before we hit episode 10, man. 'Cause we'll be off until the 15th of December, so man, I hope to catch up with him. But once again, MCJ came through, but he did it a little bit different this time. This piece right here kind of encapsulates everything that I'm feeling right now as far as the way society is looking at us. Not us as in America, but us as in black people. It is getting harder and harder and harder by the day just to get up to deal with these things. Yeah. But anyways, man, like I said, MCJ sent me this piece. I thought it was powerful. I thought it was amazing. And I thought that you guys really, really needed to see this. So without further ado, here we go. Please enjoy.
Can you even hear our cries? Another mother lying down on the ground as her son dies, closing his eyes for the last time. And what was the crime? Too much melanin in the skin and being alive. Plus, Darren Wilson, you lied about Michael Brown taking that gun from your side. And what about Tamir Rice? Did you even look at that gun twice, or just hopped out that ride and fired on sight? See, I got a list of these names that are now no more than a list of these graves, headstones that made the front page, leaving communities enraged, foreclosing on houses in Michigan because they don't want to pay for that poison water in Flint. I guess this is how 45 is making America great again. And I know what you'll say. You don't like it, you don't have to stay. True. But I wouldn't be here had there not been that demand for slaves, back then and today. Plus, all of America's mistakes are the real debt that the citizens pay, so even going to another country will still feel the hate. So give me a better solution. Hands up, they still shooting. Our backs turned, they still shooting. We on the ground, they still shooting. Daddy yelling stop. Mama just crying. Brothers and sisters silent as their family members dying. And we're supposed to just take it all in stride. Like we can just get another life. Like we can pay $9.99 and this shit just gonna rewind. But it don't work like that. I put on my shirt right fast. Another picture of a brother before he was tagged. In the photo, he laughed, but at this funeral, I'm mad. Because the only thing I want is my people coming back. Instead of lying flat, 6 feet deep in a coffin, jam-packed. And you on a plane. Administrative leave with pay. A vacation in the shade while they clean up the mess you made. Bang! Another brother slain, another sister to the grave, and it's a shame. Because no matter what we do, we know nothing's gonna change. We could kneel during the game, yell in the streets about our pain, set buildings up in flames, and shit gonna stay the same. Man, fuck it. You don't hear us? Through all the fighting, shootings, beatings, and riots? I guess we'll just stay over here and keep screaming in silence.
Yeah, man. Something did happen this week. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's taken everything in me to actually bring this story to you. It's so senseless that just thinking about it not only infuriates me, but it just breaks me down inside. Like I can't, I just can't get over this one. So in Arizona, there was a teenager by the name of Elijah Alamin. And he was doing nothing more than what normal teenagers do. Just live life. Be young, happy, full of hope and opportunity. But on this day, there was no hope and no opportunity. There was just despair, there was tragedy, and there was senseless violence. This young man was driving in his car, decided he wanted to get something to drink, and pulled off into a gas station. He was listening to rap music as he entered the gas station parking lot and turned the car off. Walked inside, stood in front of the soda machine to decide which beverage he thought would be best. Unbeknownst to him, there was somebody who had been watching him ever since he pulled in. Didn't know him from anybody else, but had hatred in his heart towards him. And this person walked inside the gas station behind young Elijah without provocation and stabbed him in the neck. And then he slit his throat. Why? I'm sorry. This stuff hurts. It really hurts to see these things happening. They don't have to happen. There's no reason for him to lose his life like this. I'm sorry, y'all. For Dylan Roof to go into a church and pray with members for 1 hour and then kill them. These things have been going on for so long, and we have to keep bringing it to you. We have to keep telling y'all that we care, that we're here, that we're alive. Do you hear us? I don't think y'all do. I really don't. Every day, there's just another dead black body scrolling through my timeline. There's another excuse made for a depressed lone wolf or a bad apple cop with just no care in the world for the fact that a life was just lost. I don't understand where the pro-life people are during these conversations. So yeah, man, something did happen this week. Something that I wish never would ever happen again. I don't really know, you know what I'm saying, like where all this hatred has come from. Only thing I can really say is like it's just always been here. But it's just kind of like, for a while, been bubbling under the surface. And now that it's being emboldened by the highest office, because let's just be honest, we have a white supremacist running our country. I mean, why wouldn't they feel the ability to say whatever they want to say? To take a car and ram it into somebody, literally killing somebody during a demonstration.
I I don't know. I mean, like, if you felt like you had a free pass to do anything that you wanted, wouldn't you do it? If you felt like what you were doing was supported and endorsed by somebody of a magnitude of the president, I guess wouldn't that make you kind of feel like, I guess I'm doing no wrong? You see, this whole take us back and make America great again thing, it just never made sense to me. I'm still trying to figure out when was this great period that you guys are so reminiscent about. Because it couldn't have been 1619 to 1865 when, black people were enslaved. Or it couldn't have been right after that, during Reconstruction. It couldn't have been during Jim Crow. And it couldn't have been during these fights for civil rights. It couldn't have been during the crack epidemic. It couldn't have been during mass incarceration. So I'm trying to figure out when America was great for everybody. Can you answer me that? I'm talking to you, sitting in the Oval Office. You want to make America great again? Well, first tell me when it was great, and then tell me why it was great. But you can't. Nobody can. Because we've never been great. We've aspired for greatness, but we've never actually reached it. We've reached great pinnacles, but we've never sustained a level of greatness to say that there was a time when we were great. So I really truthfully want to know, what makes you think that by going back in the past to old things like, I don't know, stupid ass stuff like Nazism is a way to move forward? How has being stuck in the past ever got anybody moving forward? How? I just don't understand why we are in the place that we're in when we have all the answers in front of us. What is it? Are y'all as pissed off as I am? Seriously, are you? Like, we have an alt-right rising that has literally infiltrated media to the point that white supremacy and white nationalism have become just everyday topics of conversation. As if they're not a bunch of bullshit. As if they're not something, a stupid ideology that we should fight against and destroy. It's ignorance at its finest. Yet we continue to perpetuate it as a noble idea. I don't get it. Dismantling this whole notion of white supremacy is not going to make America worse for white people. It's going to make America better for everybody. Because there are systems that have been put in place that hold down people that don't look like ones that are considered true Americans. And I don't know what the fuck a true American is, but what I do know is that just being black in America is just an everyday struggle that I don't think you guys can fathom. I can tell you about white privilege and white guilt, white fragility. I can tell you about all of these things, but for some reason it seems like coming from somebody black, it just doesn't matter. So what I want you guys to do is listen to 3 different people for me. I want you to listen to Dr. Jane Elliott. I want you to listen to Mr. Tim Wise. And I want you to listen to Dr. Robin DiAngelo. Because they have figured out what the rest of white America needs to understand. And I am so tired of trying my hardest to get them to try to understand. So all I can do now is just pass off this other type of information. And maybe, just maybe, I can hopefully get some more allies to come to this side to help us fight this war that should not be going on. To understand one thing, just just understand one thing, and that is that silence is complicity. If you continue to remain silent, then you are just as complicit as the people who are committing the acts. You need to step up and say something. You need to step up and help us take action. We can't do this alone, and we need your help. You're right, man. My bad. We got a little heavy. Let's liven things up a little, man. Let's take them back to the 90s. I know y'all remember them days, man, where you would creep. Yeah, man, chasing waterfalls, all of that stuff. This album right here, man, though I was a youngin' when it came out, hearing these songs now just brings back a certain level of nostalgia for a certain type of music, man. Like, they just don't make this music anymore. To me, it's like 90s music really made you want to just kick it and chill with your girl. Maybe write her a little letter or something like that. But today's music makes you want to cheat on your girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always about finding somebody else's girl to sleep with. I never really understood that transition, but it's happened. And I don't know, just the vibe of the 90s, and you can't talk about that vibe without TLC and the Crazy Sexy Cool album, man. It was really, really, really dope. Is really, really, really dope. I went back, I don't know, probably about 2 weeks ago, I think, 2 weekends ago, and I was just, sitting back, sipping on a little bit of this American honey, and I was just listening to this album, and I was just like, bruh, I just remember that vibe. I wanted to catch it again. And I just really wish that there was a way that we could bring back that vibe, man, that feeling. Just the feeling of being crazy, sexy, cool. TLC. So, man, in this crazy week, I'm not gonna lie. There was an album that dropped this week that it's got me up in arms, bro. Big Crit done did it again, y'all, man. All right, so I was like, man, I'm gonna listen to it at work, you know what I'm saying? But that's probably it, I'll probably listen to it again when I get to the house. Man, I listened to that thing at work. I listened to that thing again at work. I put that thing again on repeat. This album, man, and it's not even like trying to compare this one with Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. It's just the fact that it's so different than the previous one. This is the most confident I've ever seen Crit. And I love it. Like, the way that he is just feeling himself. He deserves it. Like, he is to me, one of our best artists in this generation because of the way that he plays his instruments. He does producing, does a little engineering, does his own writing, does his recording. He does it all, man. And it's such a lost art for somebody to excel at the level that he excels at in all things that he does. Man. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to Multi. Shouts out to Cole for that feature. Cole, hey, you came through on that one, man. I love that feature. It gave me chills because it just felt so personal, so real, man. And I love that. Y'all bringing that real hip hop back. But a couple songs on here, obviously, that just, blew me away every time. Oh my God. Every time I play, every time I get fucking chills. It is just so beautiful with the hook, but his verses, the way that he incorporates sports metaphors damn near every line to just explain where he's at in his life and how he's gotten it. Bruh, genius. Love it so damn much that probably when I get done with this and we're editing, the show, man, I'm gonna be playing that album again, man. There's a song, Obvious. If y'all want to talk to a little female or whatnot, and she just really ain't catching signs, go play that. I'm telling you. Like, how you gonna make it more obvious, man? I'm telling you, this album got something for everybody. And I just really, really, really enjoyed it. I would have probably tried to do this one also as an album review, but I haven't got physical copy yet, but when I do, I'll do a little for y'all. And whenever we get the ticket to go to the show, man, we probably might do a little, a little live podcast there real quick before we go in, man, because we gotta hold it down. I know Kurt gonna throw it down on that Atlanta tour, so we'll be there. But anyways, man, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about something different. So Crit's album, like Sci-Hi's album, like Lupe's album, and a lot of artists that I really truthfully love is heavily, heavily influenced by the religious faiths. And me, as somebody who doesn't have a religious faith, I constantly get asked, yo, like, if you don't believe, then why are you always listening to these people who have such a deep, devout devotion to it? And I'm like, bruh, music transcends everything. If you have something to say, if you have, a thought that you want to get out, and it might not be what I traditionally believe in or whatnot, but it's a damn good song, I'm gonna listen to it, because music is one of the most important things that we have on this earth. It is something to continuously be cherished, man. It can transcend the borders and the walls that we continue to put up between ourselves. Songs from Bob Marley can literally connect you with somebody all the way around the globe. I mean, the things that Tupac did on a global scale is known in Africa, same as Public Enemy. And it's not just rap. I mean, think about Michael Jackson and the name and just how big of a figure that is. And it's because of the entertainment he provided. Aside, I know, aside from the other stuff, I'm not getting into that. I don't want to talk about that. So, fuck all that. Anyways, all right, fuck Elvis, whatever. I'm saying music is something that can bring people together in a way that almost nothing else can. So for me, as somebody who doesn't truthfully believe in a certain religion or a certain belief or have a certain faith in any of that, it doesn't matter to me. Because when you can make an album like No Dope on Sundays like Sci-Hi did, or Draga's Wave like Lupe has done, then you are a genius or a creative artist in your own right that deserves my attention, that deserves my respect, my admiration. Because it's deeper than just the belief. It's about all of it together and the way that you put it together. So, yeah, I know as somebody who doesn't believe, it might seem kind of, odd while I'm consistently giving high praise and why my favorite rappers are so deeply, deeply rooted in their beliefs and it just resonates through all their music. It's because I love their music and I've connected with them, and they've shown me that just because they have this belief and I have this other belief, it doesn't make us any different. And the music that they continue to provide is beautiful, and it's something that I will continue to cherish, and I'll continue to pass it on to y'all. So, this is hip hop, man. Alright, welcome back. So, today on People Who Suck, we got none other than Kentucky Senate Majority Leader, overall dickhead, Mitch McConnell. Take a bow, you worthless punk-ass pig. You suck, bruh. Like, there is nothing good about you. Your whole political career has been nothing but obstruction or corruption. You've gone out of your way to win every political campaign by basically corrupting the voters by lying to them and telling them that they'll lose seats in certain positions if you're not the one that's elected. So they continue to send you there because it makes sense to have a powerful leader representing your state. But truthfully, all you do is decide what's going to be passed, what's not going to be passed into the Senate, and you stop so many bills that could really, really actually help America, and you're not doing anything but helping yourself and your greedy ass, elite, political, bitch ass friends. And that is why you and the GOP and the elite Democrats, all of y'all, fucking suck. Alright, look, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm really, really worried about what's about to happen in 2020 because it doesn't seem like there is a viable candidate that's going to be able to upseat this president. So, with that being said, I am very, very scared for a lot of things to continue to happen mainly the things that we talked about on this show today. So, with that being said, we need to figure out a way to get Mitch McConnell out of his seat. There is no need for him to continue to sit there. That nigga sucks. Get his ass out of here. Oh, damn. Anyways, so, book of the week. We're continuing on our three-part Big Ideas Simply Explained. And today we have the psychology book. Now, I myself have been in psychology for years. Now, I was a psychology major, and I was a behavioral health technician in the National Guard. So, I've actually been reading and studying and doing research in psychology close to about 10 years now. And what I've learned is that there's nothing truly a law in psychology, as in you got laws and hard sciences. Since it's a soft science, it's basically determined upon whoever you're actually talking to. Now, there's things that we all might fall under as far as categories, but to a degree, psychology is kind of like a case-by-case basis. A lot of people want to tell you that they can tell if somebody's lying by them looking over there or going like that or their hands are sweaty, but that's not really true. Though somebody might be deceiving you if they're doing those things, those aren't a true giveaway, because that person could just be nervous. That person could have information that they don't want to tell you because it could jeopardize them. So it's not like they've actually done something. They just don't want to tell you what their involvement is for the fact that, you guys might turn it around on them. Yeah. But anyways, man, the psychology book right here doesn't actually talk about those things. What it does talk about is something similar to what the philosophy book was talking about. The philosophy book, as we talked about last week, basically broke down the most famous philosophers from when they decided that philosophy started up until modern philosophy. And this does the exact same thing. It starts with the beginnings of what they consider psychology, with the humors, the four humors, and all the way up to basic modern psychology, positive psychology, social psychology, those type of fields. So this book right here actually does a really, really good job of explaining a lot of psychological experiments, and it also shows you the people who did the experiments. What was his name? Not Pavlov. Everybody knows Pavlov, but the one who did the little Albert one. See, I should probably know it because I read the book. But anyways, man, psychology. I guess my mind ain't working anyway. But anyways, man, I recommend this one, and I also recommend the one that we're going to talk about next week. So, like I said, psychology book. Anyways, about to go ahead and wrap this one up, man. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't really have a feel-good story this week. I couldn't find one. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's hard to find the good things. Right now, with everything that's going on, it just seems like negativity has clouded the whole sky. And it doesn't really seem like anything that we can do at this present time will ever change that. So, if I can leave you with anything, I leave you with this. Know that no matter what, I have love for each and every one of y'all. I will continue to fight for each and every one of y'all. And I will continue to stand up for each and every one of y'all. I just ask that you do the same. Because there's no way that any of us can win this fight on our own. We have to get out. We have to vote. We have to become activists. We have to speak up. We have to stand out. We can no longer remain silent about anything. Having a bunch of knowledge doesn't matter if you're not actually disseminating that information to the masses so they can actually have useful needs or means to use this information with or for.
There's no reason that you're the smartest person in the room and you're not telling everybody what you know. We have got to stop trying to be better than each other and try to better each other. That's all I got. But as always, two things. I need y'all to be good. And I need y'all to be great. One love, Joseph the Bay.